rested after fighting the Draugr and came to a river, which took a bit to cross, but we eventually managed to build a bridge. And we came to another river with some grung that we recognized. We helped them fish, and we went on our way. Carmilla went and befriends a wild elk, uh, but then Yorm scares it off, and it gets snagged by the cats, which we are now fighting.
Yeah, that is perfect. Sorry, I'm trying to type in the dark. It's always fun.
I have a light up keyboard that makes that a lot easier.
Yeah, I used to have one of those, but good old days. Honestly, these days it would use too much power. But that does bring us up to the fight that we are currently in. I may need some of you guys down as Gorm and Bullfield. You guys were not here last time, so if you could both please roll initiative for me, as we are at the top of the round. These snow leopard type snow cats have come out to attack you guys, even though you tried to scare them off. And a shepherd is currently gnawing on the leg of one of these crag cats that is like a lion sized, rather large, white, fluffy beast. Camilla is being sort of dragged away with the dead body of the elk as she is fighting with the lion up there, over the elk. And we are rejoining as soon as we've got Gorm's initiative.
Yeah, will it work if the game is paused? Or do I have to wait for it to be
Yeah.
unpaused?
Yeah, you can just should be able to roll and it should be unpaused as well. Okay, perfect. So in that case, we begin with Ursula, as it is your turn. There is a snow cat in front of you. What would you like to
I'm going to cast Dragon's Breath to give myself Fire Breath and spew it right in the face of that cat.
do? Awesome. Was that Nick joining us?
No, that's Goss.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I didn't even realize you weren't here yet. My bad. Uh, we just got started. You haven't missed anything. We literally just did the recap
Awesome.
and we're jumping into battle. There were some technical difficulties. So, top of the round, Ursula's doing a dragon's breath. Let's see how this cat likes it. Ooh, very nice. What type of damage did you say that was?
11. Or fire.
Ooh, okay, that is a fail. It's going to take full damage on that one. Very nice.
Then go follow Carmilla.
Okay. It is going to get an attack of opportunity as it is not quite dead. Um, you you see it get sort of set on fire and start running backwards, but if you are going to run past it, it is going to swipe at.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, but that is a terrible miss. As it is a flame and not really able to see what the fuck it's doing as all of this steam is rising up around it. You start rushing off towards Camilla. Is that your turn?
Yeah, I'd actually start out to get rid of these area effects though.
If you go to the little ruler on your left hand side, then when you hover over it, you should see an icon, and then you can just delete while you're hovering over the icon. Just press delete on the keyboard. Ah, there we go. Perfect. Okay, and did I increase the blood effect? It's pretty violent. Svenja, it is your turn. There is one attacking you currently.
Oh, okay. Right. She's going to. I think she was busy banging her shield with her axe and chanting, trying to scare them away. So in that chant, suddenly the chant gets these sort of undertones, vibration-y kind of throat singing noises coming out, and she casts dissonant whispers on it. If I can target it, how do I target it? Why is it not allowing me to
T.
target it? Let me see if I've got the wrong. There we go. Nicely done, thank you. And it gets to do a. I guess I need to roll damage and you'll get a saving throw opportunity. Wisdom saving throw. And
Oh, okay, that is a fail. You will see it start immediately hissing and picking up away from you. But as it does, it just you see its eyes roll back in its head, and it kind of starts kicking into the snow as it falls dead.
fantastic. And she will then move closer towards the north, towards a big line over there-ish. And that would be my turn.
Okay, awesome. Ulfield, you're up.
Oh, there's so many things. There's new things. Ah.
You can see the moment from your perspective, Yormund is like a giant right now. He's pretty large, and there are two snow cats jumping on him, sort of trying to tear at his armor, but not doing so well.
Okay. I'm like 4'2", so I'm gonna try. I'll probably have to dash. I'll dash. Can I dash?
Yeah,
Wait,
you are
how-
also in like 3.5 to 4 feet of snow, so you are totally like burrowing your way. But I'll say for Ulfield, because of her very nature and the path that you have chosen as a barbarian, it's not a difficult terrain yet. She just makes a little like mole mound behind her as you run through the snow.
You just see like, you don't see her. You just see the snow. But yeah, I'm there.
Yeah, it's just like a shock of hair and the top of a hammer running through the snow. But you get up into the fight, and you see that one has actually managed to do some damage to Yormund.
Bonus action reach. Do I have anything else I can use bonus action? No, but I will rage.
So are you on Foundry? If you actually click Rage, it should now work.
Ah! Oh, I love all these new little pop-up things. Cool. I'm raging. I think views. There you go. Ah, nice.
And then it'll add your damage and stuff as well, I think. So, yes, that is. Or it might not. But anyway, yeah, you are raging. Are you going to make an attack as well, or will you?
I can't make an attack, right? Because I dashed.
Yeah, if you dashed. I think. Yeah, I'm just checking because there's a thing about rage that it may end if you don't make an attack.
Until the
We'll
start
take
of the
damage.
next turn.
Until the next turn.
Okay, cool. So you can keep it for one. That's good to know. But yeah, then you have rushed up there, and they were trying to scare these away. You are now adding to that intimidation. You can roll an intimidation check for me, please.
Okay, sure. Ah! Screw it. See if that helps.
Okay, not quite. These things are
No.
vicious cat. Mikkel is not with us yet, right?
I'm not even. Yeah, he's not here.
So
I'm not
gonna
even
get it
trying to scare them anymore. I'm going to kill these cats.
Let's see what you get.
I will invoke my fire rune. Take a swing at this little guy. Or not.
Yeah,
Invokes
the
when you
cats are
hit,
quick.
so you still have it.
Hmm?
Invoke the fireball when you hit a target, so it's not
Hmm.
used.
But also there goes my turn.
But can't you use the back end of a pole?
It's a
No, I
feat.
That
don't
I
have
have
it
fighter
defeat.
thing. Oh, all right. Yeah, so as you try and attack this creature with the long weapon, it leaps at you and ends up right on the weapon, and you're just fighting it off for this turn, trying to push it back off of you as you feel Allfield arrive behind you. Yeah.
I'm just gonna try that again.
Oh yes, there we go. Let's go. Yes, that'll hit. Oh, nice.
And another 1d6 because of Giant Smite.
That is already enough.
Oh,
But I will say, because it was enough, and you are in this giant form, I'll allow you to cleave through that one and put that extra giant smite damage into the other. So the other one takes 2 points of damage as you just slice right through one and clip the other one.
would it do to? Is my fire rune wasted on that first one, or could I just say?
And no, as Gorm said, it's only after you hit that you use it. So you could apply it on that one. I'll say you could make that a full
Awesome.
cleave and apply it on the second creep.
Then that's 2d6 fire.
Had exactly 8 hit points left. So you managed to take both of them out in one wild swing, and yeah, you killed both of those. What does it look
Oh
like?
shit!
As do you do anything like with flair? And
No, just a solid like back lean in it. Turn at the torso. Halberd going straight through both of them.
all right, very nice. So as we come to the end of your turn, then oh sorry, are you going to use your movement?
No, Shepherd also is going to just finish off
Oh
this.
yeah, I forgot.
big
If
cat.
it's still up there with the lion, I will move it back to you.
And he still has advantage because it's prone, right?
Yeah, it is
Awesome.
not looking so good. I mean, it is still prone, so it doesn't really matter on the strength save. But here, as Shepherd bites down, you just see another spurt of blood as this creature is looking badly wounded now. Oh, in fact,
just says
it is
to me it's
killed. Yeah, sorry, it was
Oh.
lagging. Yeah, you kill them by one. So yeah, what does it look like as Shepherd just absolutely kills this crag cat?
It's just incredibly messy. Incredibly messy and violent, and let's leave it at that.
Yeah, it's a dog catching a cat. I know that is. Is that going to be your turn, or are you still using movement?
Now that's finally my turn.
Okay, in that case, it is going to go to the last of the snow cats. This one is sort of on fire and is going to try and get the hell out of here. Is going to take an attack against Svenja before it goes, as you are right there and thinks you're coming after.
Yeah, she's as surprised to find it in the snow as he is. She wasn't. She was running towards the big one.
To be fair, it's just a like misty, there's like a smoke bomb with fire in this.
Yeah.
and that is a hit.
Hmm. Okay, she'll just take the hit. I'm not going to do any reactions on that. In a while since she's gotten hit. New experience.
As this claw comes just flying out of the mist and just scratches you. You can decide where it actually got you, but it just gets one good claw in and then is going to try and bolt away from you. It is not disengaging, so you will get an opportunity attack as it is trying to flee.
Okay, so she will wallop at it with her axe, and let's see. Oh, I didn't select it. Normal.
Okay, you can target late, just hover over and press.
Wow, I didn't know
Oh,
that good with an axe. So
yeah, that is an instant kill. What does it look like as you catch this thing trying to get away from?
so she murmurs as the cat runs away. She sort of, it's almost instinctively to lash out with the axe, but she does sort of whisper, "Freya, forgive me," as her axe cleaves essentially through the back half of the leopard and separates the back from the front.
Yep, absolutely. There are two leopards lying dead now. As we then go on to Gorm's turn, as all of the snow leopards are dead. Well, I keep saying leopard. They're not quite. That's close enough. Gorm, it is your turn. There, you hear sort of the roaring in the distance of the ones that are trying to take the elk, but there don't seem to be any close by.
Well, you said it's difficult terrain, so I can only.
No, it isn't. I was saying it
Oh.
isn't technically yet. Not in this scenario. Otherwise, it would be difficult terrain everywhere and forever. But also for Allfield, it's going to get harder to walk through 4 feet of snow when that's how tall she is. But you are doing all right. You might have range there. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I only have range with my hand crossbow, and it is with disadvantage.
Okay. Are you going to attempt a shot?
I'll dash instead and end my turn.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like these creatures are trying to actively now get away. They are trying to head north towards the portal that you guys thought was going to be your next stop. And as we come down to these crag cats, the ones up top, one is trying to drag the elk away, and the other one is going to try and pounce onto you, Kamala, to get you off of the elk. So this one is rushing in for a pounce, and let's pounce away. May just mean they can jump. Okay, so I need a strength saving throw from you, please, Kamala.
I think I'm good with 18.
Yeah, you are. As this like crag that jumps onto you, and you just kind of shift out of the way. It is bringing its claws down on you as it does. Ooh, 15 misses, and that is going to be that one. The other one is going to also take a swipe at you, not letting the elk go that's in its mouth. So weird using creatures that don't have multi-attack. I keep looking for how many attacks they get, and I was like, oh, nope, just one. 8 also misses as Kamala, you are fighting off these lions. And yeah, it is your turn. As you've kind of stopped them there from getting the elk. They've had to stop as you're fighting them back. What are you going to do?
The only thing that can be done. It's killing time. What? Seriously? So low AC?
Yeah. They essentially just big cats. Ooh. Yeah, very nice. That you hear it let out a growl as you stab into this creature, and it is looking bad. It looks like it's going to keep trying to get away with your elk, though. Are you making that against the other one?
The other one, yes. There's two.
All right, yeah, just whirling these blades around, fighting both of them off at the same time. Or that one, it seems like it has a bit more mobility, so it doesn't take quite as much damage, but you do manage to get a good nick in.
Yep. And let's see. Is it? Let me just check. Just to block the road. And with that, I end my turn.
Okay, as we come to the end of the round, it is going to use the end of this, like a lair action kind of thing, to try and get into the lair as it sort of moves into you there. Oh shit, my map just went wild. Ursula, it is going to be your turn as you see this thing. It is not where it just appeared. It's sort of there in Camilla's space, just getting blocked. So, as is the elk. And yeah, they are struggling to get past her. It is your turn. Sorry, what are you doing?
This guy use a ray of frost. Just within range. Or not. That's it.
Okay, yes. This ray of frost streaks past them and just explodes on the tree next to them. We go on to Sven.
Okay, I don't know if I have the right enough movement distance for this, but she is going to try to make the little arrow thingy go away. I know it's my turn. Go away. There we go.
You can also, when you drag your token, it does show a ruler, and it'll be green if you're in your normal movement speed, yellow if you're within a dash, and red if you've gone too far.
Yeah, I think it's not responding good enough, so she's going to try and move up to there. And let's see if I can target that chappy there. And the sort of that dissonant chanting that she used to kill the other one, she's just going to direct it towards the big lion there and try and cast the vicious mockery on him. And I don't, yeah, here we go, yep. So it gets to do a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, okay, that got an 18, so that the succeed. But it is definitely getting like chased off as it kind of looks at the rest of you growling, and it just seems like it is trying to get away with the other one.
Yeah, and that's what she can do this turn.
Okay, then yeah, again, sorry, the enemies are always so far away. But Phil takes us on to
Punch myself in the head.
Oh.
Keep my rage going. And then give myself 1 point of damage. And then I've got an idea. So, there's loads of snow. And I think, hold on, let me move up here. I'm gonna, yeah, I'm gonna throw a snowball. I don't know. I don't know if she can even see above the snow,
Yeah.
but she's gonna do it.
yeah, I'll say you can try and lob a snowball. It will be a disadvantage, but you
That's
can
fine.
just make a ranged attack with whatever sort of ranged weapon you have. If you, do you have anything?
Nope. I'll roll a d.
Yeah, that's cool. It'll, and then plus your dexterity mod. 16 will already hit, so you just roll another one for the disadvantage.
Oh my god. We need to get you high-heeled boots, like Corporal Cherry Littlebottom in Terry Pratchett's books. It's like a little Viking helmet with horns. Like, is it a goat? Is it a... No, it's Ilfield.
Plus dex is +2, so it's either 18.
Yeah,
Oh, it
no,
would be 18, yeah.
that hits. Absolutely. What is your dex modifier?
Dex modifies +2.
Okay, I'll say you do manage to do a full 3 points of damage as you hit this thing right in the eye, just as it's glaring, and you see it like just scrunch up its nose and immediately start running backwards as it didn't like that.
Fulfilled feels a sense of pride that is its in.
And so as you hear the yowling of this cat as it's trying to get away, Yormund, you can do anything?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure why everyone else is fighting anymore. I'm no longer being attacked. No one is being actively attacked. And I'm gonna let nature be nature, so I'm out. I'm just
Okay,
like
cool.
calling Shepard over.
Yep. Once it's
Yep,
broken
cool.
out
Yeah.
anyway. Yeah, move up. Now guiding bolt, the barely injured one. It's 120 feet. Click. Never mind. Hit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
12 damage.
Okay, yeah, that one is looking hurt and all sparkly now.
That was me.
All right, very nice. So as that one is now like glowing and is trying to get away, it is going to try and rush past and take one more attack against Camilla, as both of them are going to take claw attacks against you and then try and get away. Okay, so the one that is actually dragging the elk manages to catch you with a swipe, doing 11 points of slashing damage. As it just claws right across like your face and neck. It just catches you once with one good one, and then is going to try and pull the elk away. They are both moving past you and basically off of the map. So you are going to get an attack of opportunity, but it depends which one you want to go after, as they're both provoking opportunity attack.
The most important one, of course.
Hit. Ooh, all right, you managed to catch it like in the leg and sort of drop it to one knee, as it is not quite dead, but it is no longer able to get away from you. And the other one, however, is, and even though it is glittering and glowing, it is going to get away to the portal. So that one has moved onto the next map. I will say, when you guys arrive there, if you make an attack against the lions, it'll still be under the guiding bolt. However, this one cannot move and is kind of stuck there, taking us onto your turn, Carmilla, as you can still see the other one getting away, but this one is down on one.
Yes. Yes. I think I'm gonna try that. Perfect.
Yeah, that is enough.
Yeah. So what I just do is just take, like, let just one of the swords drop and just with the hand just up in the throat and just dig directly into it and just rip out the throat.
Absolutely, yeah, it is brutal, and the creature falls dead on top of the elk. You can still see the other one getting away.
Yes, time to pursue it. Off the map.
Yeah, I'll say you would be able to catch it on this turn if you want to try and make an attack. I've made it visible on the map again there. And you will have advantage because of the guiding bolt.
That's the best rolls I ever seen. A 1 and a 2. Oh well.
Okay, yeah, so it is actively getting away from you here. But with that, the two of you have moved onto the portal map, and we are brought out of initiative at the end of that round. So let us. So it should be ending. Okay, so yeah, the rest of you see, as these cats are dead, you'll see the sort of battle continuing as Carmilla gives chase to one of these crag cats, and you see she's run up towards some sort of stone structure, which I'll get to in a moment. But the rest of you are here post battle. What are you gonna do?
I'm still following Carmilla.
Okay, is everyone following after, or are you guys gonna do something here first?
Yeah, I'll
follow.
stay here and see what we can get from the bodies. maybe some meat to cook.
You're gonna eat feline. Yeah, you would. You can give me a survival check to try and start harvesting these creatures. If
I want to specifically harvest a pelt. So everybody, all the boys wear these bear pelts because they've killed a bear. She reckons that a snowcat pelt is as good as it's going to get for her. So
yeah, I mean, they will require a little bit more work to turn it into something wearable, but to skin one of these, you absolutely can do that. Also, a survival check or relevant tools if you've got them.
Maximum.
no, she got a 9 on this. She completely butchers it. It's like a complete cock up. Yeah, actually, yeah. So in doing that, that essentially means Camilla's on a cat. She can handle it.
Okay, yeah. So you guys, sorry, it's one of the rolls there. Okay, yeah, Gorm, you absolutely managed to get some fangs from these creatures. The teeth are worth something. Claws are often worth something, and you will get pelts from each of these. With a nat 20, you do manage to help after seeing the one that Svenny has butchered. You guys work together and you manage to collect some better ones. So you will get for each of these snowcats one pelt, which that is, I'm just counting blood stains at the moment. So there's, I think, 4 of those. You have 4 snowcat pelts. I'll ask that you just make a note of these yourself because I don't have items for these, and 2 cragcat pelts.
Okay, I wrote it down.
Cool. And yeah, with that, you guys, as you are busy doing that, Ulfilt and Ursula, as you manage to catch up to Carmilla, I will bring us onto that map, and you guys will be able to join in a little bit. But as we kick things off, it might not be all battle. So you guys, as you head further north, you will see quite an interesting looking structure sort of hidden here in the forest, made of stone and covered in different runes. You will see, it looks like rings, 2 rings that are sort of arced over each other, over this type of dais in the center, with 4 massive doors in each of the cardinal directions. It seems like these crag cats have made a lair of this place, and you can see that the cat that has been evading Carmilla is running to the rest of its pride not too far away. But I will put you down on the map now so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, Carmilla, you're there, and then Ulfield. Okay, so you guys, can everyone see?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Even the people that aren't on the map?
Yep.
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, cool. So, Carmilla, I'll ask you first. As you are sort of chasing them, you can see the line that got away from you just up towards the top, but you have arrived at the structure and he seems to have just gotten away. There are more of those snow cats and these crag cats around. What are you going to do as you see more of them?
Pursue the other cat, of course.
Okay, are you going to run into that? are you still trying to keep fighting?
Of course. Let's see.
Okay, well, I'll ask that you sort of stop there for the moment, as the two of you that arrive after, you will see Camilla still running towards whole pride of these cats. What are you guys going to
Carmilla, you better not hurt yourself.
Yeah, I'll follow.
do? Okay. So as you guys are making your way in, how are you going to approach these cats? Are you like approaching violently? Are you immediately attacking, or are you like trying to scare them away?
I just
I'm just ignoring the cats, just trying to get Carmilla not to hurt herself.
I'm going straight for the cats. Just fucking snowballs.
Okay, so Camilla, as you run like towards this first snowcat that it seemed like it was hunting something else and seems surprised to see you, immediately starts hissing, and as it's about to pounce towards you, a snowball just pelts it in the face as Ulfilt runs up onto the dais behind you, an armful of snowballs. You would get past that one uh, without triggering the fight necessarily, but are you going to try and attack all of these, or are you just going for the one that got away from
Just the one that got away.
you? Okay, so that is it's here on the right. It is that one. I actually need to add the damage back on that. Will that make it?
Oh, holy shit, it's him.
Hey, okay, welcome.
Everyone's here.
I am here.
All right, so Camilla, what are you going to do as you manage to catch up to that one, and this one behind climbs up onto the dais and starts snarling at you, Ulfield?
Oh, yeah.
Squaring up, bro.
I know exactly what I'm gonna do. Just gonna look at it and say, "You belong to me now. You're mine." And I cast Animal Friendship on it.
Okay. So it gets advantage on that if you're hostile to it, right?
Yes.
There is no mention of that on it.
Well, are you sure?
You think of, I think, Charm Person. On Animal Friendship, there's no mention. You can see there's no mention of advantage in the text.
Yeah, although it does have, if you or your companions harm the target, so I am going to give it that advantage because it is. You have just been attacking it and you've stabbed it several times. So I will say it stops it from attacking you. And as you do this, the other cats, they all just start like giving this low yowling sound as some of them are sort of starting to prowl about, but this one drops low and is just looking at you. It is not attacking you, and the rest of them seem to hold off for the moment as well as the spell is cast. They all seem a bit confused by it. But it doesn't seem like it's fully under your charm. So what are you going to try and do as you are approaching it? Because that may require an animal handling check first.
I'm looking around, seeing like, counting the numbers. It's like not worth it. And just like, I guess you get to live another day. But do not ever attack what is mine again. We will not get the chance again. And I'm just carefully backing away.
Okay, I will say you can either make an animal handling, persuasion, or intimidation. While you are making that roll, Oldfield's this one that is sort of squaring up with you, as you and Ursula are there seeing this one. What are you doing?
Squish him. No, I probably should do that. Positive thoughts. I get
D&D,
my-
do what's in your heart.
I'll get my claws out. It's about to be a get my claws out. It's about to be a cat fight. Yes, I will get my claws out. Sorry.
Okay, well, because you are putting out the claws specifically, I'll say, Camilla, that is going to give you advantage, as these cats are all trying to suss you out, and you see Oldfield kind of turn somewhat cat-like himself, or their bear claws.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, as Oldfield just transforms like over this cat, that cat immediately goes submissive, like its ears sort of fold back and it drops low, and it just lets out a little meow, like it is terrified of you, as you come like moving in towards it, and
Belly
the
rubs.
rest of the cats, they seem to all be getting this impression like this is not a fight they want to be a part of, as they all start slinking away backwards from you, very careful still. But at this point, the rest of you will also sort of start to arrive, as you know. I know it would take a long time, but I don't want to leave you out in the cold for too long. As Ursula, what are you doing as you see like Orfield's about to tear this cat to shreds?
I should still have that dragon's breath going, so I'm just gonna get up on top and fire cone of fire directly up and try and scare them as well.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. That will definitely work. As you breathe fire, the other animals are definitely going to get the hint, and they are all going to try and scatter into the woods, as they all go running into like the forest up to the north. They're going to try to get away as quick as they can. As the rest of you are arriving, is anyone going to try and stop them?
Yeah, even if I wanted to, I don't have anything to stop them with.
Yeah, we'll just bang on the shield with a war axe and shout loudly as she walks up closer.
Okay, yeah. They will. In that case, these creatures are going to retreat without getting into the fight. However, the one in front of Oldfield is like still seems confused as to whether or not it is in a fight, and is like currently low, looking sort of submissive to you, Oldfield. What are you going to do?
Riches. I'll give us some fusses. Little billy rubs. I have changed my mind. Oldfield is impulsive, as am I. Because it's like, I don't want to kill someone, I don't want to fight me, it's boring. So she'll like retract her claws. She's just got like little paws now. Just give it some pets. And she'll just punch herself if she needs to keep her rage going. She just keeps punching herself every now and then.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to actually get into how much damage that's dealing you every time. But yeah, what do you? So are you letting it go?
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to give it some fusses. You can go if it wants. There's no she can keep it for that.
Sorry, I'm not hearing you properly. You're gonna give it what?
Sorry, I'm not speaking properly. That's that's fine. Yeah, she'll give it. It's just giving some pets. Fusses is my wood pets.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
Yeah, and then if he wants to go, he goes.
Yeah, you can make an animal handling check for me then, as you like thing seems terrified, and you just pull it in close, like, okay, you will be cuddled now. As it lets you, absolutely, you kind of see it's hesitant for a second, and then it leans into it a little bit. You feel a purr coming from this creature, but um, when when the banging on Svenja's shields comes in, you see it starts to pull away and try and run after the rest of its fam.
Real good.
So yeah, you guys have successfully managed to avoid another fight with these cats, as you now find yourselves instead standing underneath some strange old structure just covered in runes, and um, this you figure must be the portal that is marked on the map, though it looks old, broken, and frozen over. There are pieces of this intricate stonework that are missing, and it does not look operational in any way. It looks like those cats have probably been staying here for a while.
Yeah, quick thing, DM. I only see myself on the map, but the entire map is dark, like as if I don't have vision.
Is it because you don't have dark vision? Maybe.
Yeah, it's probably it. Yeah.
And that's why you don't play human.
It's not meant to be nighttime. So I will give you.
What are these little buckets with blue stuff in them?
Sorry, where?
What are all these little bucket-looking things with blue stuff in them?
Bucket-looking thing. Oh. Yeah, you'll see. They look like these. They look like they are pools of water, but they've got this thin film that is over them. They kind of look like these bubbles just sitting there. It's not quite glass. You're not sure what the material is, but you can picture like a plastic dome over each of these little pools of what looks like probably water. However, you're not sure what those liquids are. If you guys would like to investigate things further, you absolutely can. Just tell me what you're looking into, and you can give me either perception or investigation, or perhaps arcana if you're trying to understand the magic of this place.
Can I try to compare like the signs, like maybe the stars or anything? Maybe it's just that's how they figure out locations or anything.
You do that though if you want to do like religion, that might work as well. But whatever you feel is appropriate. Oh, yeah, okay. Ursula, what are you trying to look into there? Just into those pools?
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm looking at. I just give the dome a poke.
Yeah, it's weird. You've never encountered material like this before. It literally, as a player, you would understand that it is something akin to like a plastic polymer, but those don't exist in this world. So to Ursula, it's like weird, like not so. It's like warm glass, almost. Gorm, you do understand with your like navigational techniques, and you sort of hear your father's voice in your head telling you to remember your runes. This you do recognize these symbols, and it seems like these discs should actually possibly move, but the doorways all seem to have runes on them as well, and these do seem like they could be used as coordinates. Like you would be able to use these same notations on a map and it seems like you could record what is actually written here, almost in a like latitude and longitude type of way, but in like magic ancient runes.
Okay.
The structure you would also probably recognize as being giant made, Svenja, as well as you are investigating this. But what are you looking into there, Svenja, specifically?
So hang on, let me just switch and unmute. I am unmuted. So she would also be looking at the runes and also for a separate check, if you allowed, the sort of cauldrons to see if there's any sort of pattern or constellation or anything like that that sort of looks familiar. So she's trying to get a link, I guess, between the layout of the cauldrons and the runes on one of the doorways or the door to the south, maybe, because they do look like they specifically link to each other with lines in a specific. They're not geometrically spaced or not symmetrically spaced, so that suggests there might be a pattern. So that's what she's investigating.
Yeah, you would absolutely actually recognize a pattern there when you are when you were at the treehouse, when you were looking at that strange orrery and all of their sort of astronomical equipment, the constellations that they were looking at were quite similar to this, but as Gorm was also looking into like the relationship with the stars, it is not constellations of your sky necessarily. There are different suggestions as to what it might be. They may be the stars of Svartalheim or of Asgard, that this is what the skies look like. But from what you were looking at there and what those cultists were looking at, they may be planets rather than stars. So it is not necessarily a constellation that would be fixed, though you're not sure what they actually mean or where they lead to. These could very well be constellations in completely different realms.
Okay. Yeah, or a particular moment in time when the planets are aligned in that pattern or something like that.
Yeah, you would know from stone circles and things that's generally the case, is to like align with the where the sun sets on the solstice or things like that. But these, you're not sure where they're talking about, but they are. It's not a strange concept to you. It's just this has probably been done by elves or giants.
Okay.
Um, One other person I would like to give a check, please, is Mikio, as you can give me a perception or an investigation, but it is looking, the structure looks quite broken at the moment. And Ursula, actually, you can give me another check, please. Also, investigation or perception as you move away from the pool.
Let's see this shit. Oh, nice.
Oh, okay, yeah. So this thing definitely looks like it was crafted by giants, but the stonework and things look like they would probably take quite a bit of time to repair. And you can both tell that this thing is in disrepair, that it is probably not worked for a long time. No one's been using this portal. And fixing it, yeah, might not even be worth the effort from those roles. But it is possible. It just would be a tough job.
Okay.
So is anyone, are you marking down those coordinates or those runes? And I mean, like in character, I don't mean Are you copying
Yeah.
what's on the map? Like, is Gorm making note of this, or
If he isn't, I think Svenja would try and make some notes.
I was
Yeah.
muted.
Sorry.
Yeah, I have a book with like, pen and ink, so I can copy them. See at least.
Cool.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you both absolutely can, as you now as a group will have unlocked this teleportation circle, as this is a permanent teleportation point, but you may be able to find more of them throughout the world, and you have got this one marked for if you ever do, though it will need to be repaired before it can be used. You're not sure about arriving here, like another working portal might work.
Okay.
Did we lose someone?
Yeah, Abby has to go to work.
Oh my god, okay, we're about to get into good stuff. You guys have discovered this portal. Are you going to move on, or are you going to stay here and do more investigation?
I think we should not spend
Yeah.
light.
Jordan would like to move on. He is. He is bored of this meticulous fucking note taking.
Yeah, you have to essentially. Svenja will stay there as long as you let her, so you'd have to essentially drag her away. But you know this by now because you've been around her for 20 years. When there's interesting or weird stuff or lore or hidden secrets to be discovered, you have to drag her away if you wanted to go. And she will let you because she knows you for so long.
But now, the more important question is, did any of you bring the blade?
The blade.
The blade?
The what now?
I take that as a no.
Oh, there's another bunny.
Oh well.
Flying bunny.
Oh well. Then Camilla will be going back to get her blade.
Okay,
Go back
which
to
blade
get-
did you leave behind?
The blade, when I killed the lion, I just let go of it. Since it's a free action.
Oh yeah, okay.
Expect us to
No
pick
one
up
was
after you.
listening to you in that much detail. You can easily go back and fetch that, though. It's not far away. As you go and retrieve your blade from that line, you can see that, yeah, the others probably would have seen it when they were harvesting it, but you retrieve it anyway. Ursula, were you saying something?
I said you expect us to pick up after you.
It's a fair point. Mikkel does find the structure extraordinarily fascinating, so if allowed by the other party members, he would like to take a bit of a closer look. Like just again.
Can I give him a help assist on that? Because I think she would like to also look with him and point out and try and figure out how it works, but obviously doesn't have the artificer skill.
Yeah, you guys can give me again either investigation or arcana for this one, but you can make that with advantage as you are both doing it. And if you want to give like a mechanical bonus, you totally can. But Mikkel, you can make the roll.
All right, with advantage, gonna do an arcana roll. Cool, 30-20.
Jeez, my phone came back on and I was leaning right over a lamp. It blinded me. Yeah, you can. But 30-20, you start to take a closer look and you begin to understand that some of these parts are supposed to move, and actually it might not be as hard to fix as you first thought if you were using magic as well, because if you could, you realize that there is a sort of mechanism to actually input runes like you are seeing around here, those coordinates that they were marking down, that you could put different coordinates in, and that would probably operate the doors. So this, if it was functional, those doors could lead to different places every time if you just put in different coordinates. But they are currently set up in the cardinal directions. They what's the other? Oh yeah, and then as you are looking at like where this thing is broken and where those panels are, you will notice that one of those triangular sort of pie-shaped panels that you are standing on, you will see that it is broken and lifted up, and underneath seems to be like bits and pieces of possibly other people that have been killed by those lion creatures. That it seems like a body pile that has just been left here, the carcasses of whatever they've killed, and they look humanoid as you find those basically underneath the floor of this portal that you're standing on.
Okay, interesting.
That panel
Ooh,
seems to
this
actually
might
be
be-
important. Like if you could fix that particular panel, if it wasn't so filled with all this crap underneath there, you might be able to get this thing working.
So I think, yeah, so Sven will get, maybe someone else can come and help us to take the bodies out, but as we take it out, looking for interesting shinies and rings, weapons and whatever they may have on the body still or in the pit. But yeah, so she will help clear out the bones and stuff so that Mikkel can try and fix the panel or see what needs to be done to fix it.
Yeah,
get rid
I
of the
mean,
body.
if it does take longer than a day, I suggest we just move on and just keep a note of it.
Yeah, you would need more materials than you have on you, definitely. This would be a case of you'd need to go back to town first, probably.
Yeah.
But when you guys do look in there, you realize those are humanoid remains, and those people were probably carrying some decent stuff. As yeah, you basically find a whole bunch of loot in there. I will try to share that with you. One.
Thanks, Carmilla, for Bob the Boulder. Mikkel the Boulder.
Engineer gaming.
Okay, so you find. God, why does it? Okay. You find quite a bit of. So first of all, there are a bunch of gems. You can see there are about 10 gems here, like 9 or 10 gems. You can see there is some azurite, some banded agate, there is an eye agate, there's hematite, lapis lazuli, malachite, moss agates, and obsidian, and a tiger eye as well as 3 potions of healing and a spell scroll of resistance, and a bunch of coin purses from the people that are, you can see it's sort of just in this, they're just bones by this point, but you find that the coin purses have actually survived pretty well. As I'm going to try and give you access to this in the items tab. I don't know if I can do that one. Okay, maybe not. So who is going to pick up these things? There is basically money, gems, potions, and a spell scroll.
Yeah, happy to carry them around. Is Gorm essentially our treasurer? You know, what we should possibly do is just somewhere get a shared inventory container, but I'm happy to note this down for now.
I don't think
so-
there is a reason to split them afterwards. That's the plan.
Yep. Or we can just split them now.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
I
happy
can.
with either.
Let's see. Maybe I can actually just give you that sort of split. So if you look in the items tab, can you see a folder that says loot?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Can you see in there the leading into Crag Cat?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
so you can see light.
Holy
It's cool.
shit! Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I've got a new way of doing glue death. I'm very excited. So yeah, you should just be able to drag those. Obviously, there's only one of each of those things, so please don't all do it. But it is there if you want to just have like an inventory of stuff that hasn't been used. Then we can just delete it from there when it's gone.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And that's all you can see, right? Is Cragcat Layer 1.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
Yes.
Cool.
Not numbered, but
Wait, yeah, no number. Just Cragcat layer.
No, that's what I mean. Is yeah, so it's a treasure hoard Cragcat.
So there are 9 gems, about 10 gold each, 10 gold piece each.
Yeah, no. Between
Yeah, and quite a bit of cash in those coin purses.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, or does that actually show up properly? I'm not sure. Yeah, 110 gold, 1,100 silver pieces, and 1,400 copper pieces.
Mm-hmm.
that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 divided by 7.
What's in the box?
Yeah, we can do that in the chat after the game if you
Yeah, that
prefer.
works.
But it will be just sitting in there. You can refer to it at any time. But then nobody put that stuff in your actual inventory. We'll just leave it there for now.
Yep, happy. So by the time we've skinned the cats and all of these sort of things, where are we now? Mid-afternoonish?
Yeah, it's almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon by this point, about 1:45, and you guys, I can bring you back to the big map, but from what you had planned out for your expedition, it was basically you were going to hit up a campsite near where the Oldfield Spare was after this, where that was like your next waypoint, which is generally assumed that you're going to rest there for like a full day. Basically, it's a proper full set up a camp and take a nice long rest.
Okay. Yeah, because if we go for Nordic winters, for dark.
Yeah, that's true. Sun's going down already.
Yeah, like I said earlier, maybe we should just move as far as we can during daytime and then set up camp when it is darker.
So how much further are we from where we plan to set, or should we just sleep here?
We didn't really have a estimated time at any point, so it was just sort of wherever we thought we could, we'll just sleep.
What do you mean you didn't have an estimated time?
As in, like, we didn't have an estimated time to, like, okay, on day 6 we'll rest here, on day 7 we'll go here, on day.
No,
That
just
wasn't
kind of,
planned out.
just broadly which way we're walking.
Yeah.
Yes, the downsides of sleeping here is that this is with the cat's lair, so they may want to come back at night. Yeah, Orfield's
Yeah,
Bay
and
is quite a distance away there, isn't it?
not really, actually. You guys are pretty close, and where I put the waypoint is sort of between the portal and where the bear is expected to be. So let's see, it's just loading up for me now.
Is this, if it's to scale, it's about 2 miles, it's about an hour's walk, 3 miles.
Yeah, I'd say you could probably get to where you had planned to camp before it's completely dark and like you can't really be traveling anymore. You've got about that much left in your day anyway. I'm just looking at, because I've worked out how long this should take based on going 8 hours a day, which is the D&D maximum travel you can
Yeah.
do in one day without exhaustion. Or did we already pushed it?
I think we
Well,
pushed
anyway.
it. We pushed it in the Kiga campaign.
Yeah, that's what it was. Thank you. We don't usually do marching and things in that campaign, so I really forgot. But I'm gonna mark these guys, and then yeah, you guys would be able to get there without too much trouble. So are you going to camp at the portal, or are you going to head on to your waypoint?
Probably go a bit further.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good with going further.
Yeah,
Cool.
sure, why not?
Well, then, on your last part of the hike, as it is getting darker, I'm going to ask everyone to please give me a sanity roll, as this is for your morale before we actually get to camp. But then you will be able to arrive there without too much issue. It's just about how you're feeling when you get
Okay, so what is the
Uh,
sanity roll?
there. So if you open your character sheet in Foundry, you'll see there's a sanity score, and you can just roll or saving throw is actually what I meant. But
Should be the same modifier for all of us, I think.
yeah, it's no
Let's go
modifier.
proficient with it. Oh
efficient.
yeah, so oh did wait, yeah, I rolled an ability check.
No sanity to be found.
okay, no, that's all right. However, does it give you your proficiency on it? No, nothing.
No.
So, Carmilla, you've lost a lot on this. Like you're starting to feel a little bit down as the elk. You got quite excited that you'd finally gotten that one, but oh, and Fenya as well. It is fucking cold. Your shoes are wet. This is like even your prestidigitation. You keep having to do it. It's like it's been a long hike. You guys are going to move down one sort of point here, but everyone else is doing great.
I got a 3.
You are hating life. As we get to the campsite, you can describe to me, because this is more of a role play thing, really. Sorry, I didn't see you there, Bjorman. But yeah, morale is getting a bit low for Carmilla, Svenja, and Yormund, and the rest of you not having the most exciting time, but you're doing okay. As I will move us onto the campsite, and you can let me know what you guys want to do as you set up camp for the night and for possibly a full day.
I'll start setting up like the tents and starting up the campfire.
Okay, so just tell me, am I adjusting something somewhere on my character sheet? Sanity drops to 9 or something.
Yeah, actually, that's that is how it's supposed to work. That is supposed to represent your morale. So your sanity, you will lose 1 point of sanity. The 3 of you. Thank you. I was trying to find the mechanics are supposed to be something along those lines, but then like a good meal and stuff like that can improve your morale, or like entertainment. That's why you would be the entertainer as one of the people in the class.
Okay. Yeah, so I think as the adrenaline wears off and she's been sort of stimulated by the portal, but now it's getting dark, slogging through the snow, and she's thinking about that the encounter of the morning with that creature was definitely looking at her and talking to her and coming for her. And as darkness encroaches, she's kind of wondering what the meaning of that is. Worried about whether this will generate nightmares that she now and then has. So she now and then has dreams which may or may not be visions, but definitely nightmarish. And so that's starting to weigh on her mind as, you know, it's not sleeping at home in a nice warm bed. So she will, as people set up camp, hum and sing, but it's not the usual upbeat, cheerful drinking songs that she sometimes comes out with. It's more sort of quiety stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
More bluesy and less bouncy.
I will give you inspiration for that as well as you guys sit down to sort of reflect as everyone's setting up camp. You will also see, Svenja, that the wound that creature gave to Ulfhild, you'll see is still actually like it still looks somewhat infected. She luckily succeeded her con save, but that creature, you realize there was something dark about that thing. If that had managed to kill you, you it may have actually been able to stop you from going to Valhalla in a battle with that. Like that seemed like it was its goal, and that is a terrifying idea to people of your culture.
Yep.
Yeah. And how about the rest of you? Are you guys reflecting on the journey? Doing anything specific around camp?
I'm high on a bad trip and want my armor fixed.
Yeah, I was about to say Mikkel's gonna set up his like blacksmithing shit in case anyone needs repairs.
Your been wanted to cool off earlier, but just goes into a bad trip instead.
Camilla is really hungry. She's really, really hungry, and it's like,
We had those cats. How many cats did we kill? Did we not harvest one of them?
did you not enough? Like, just that, like, just tries to go off and like to the forest and try to find something to eat.
Yeah.
Help me finish setting up camp. I can get to cooking faster.
Yeah, I'll help you make camp.
Like, not role wise, just saying it in character.
I'm not even going to ask for polls at this point because you are at a waypoint. You will be able to do it, but yeah, in character, you guys are all around here, and Camilla, you can absolutely go and try and do some hunting nearby. There are actually this part of the forest that you're in. There are quite a lot of deer and elk and hares and that kind of thing. So you've got a pretty good chance at it. I'm forgetting now what the what all the relevant roles are, but if you guys know what roles you are supposed to make, you can make them as I'm looking them up.
Pretty sure it's survival.
I know what I have to make for the cooking itself, but not for the setting up camp. That's what I'm trying to find.
Also, while Mikkel is still setting his shit up to repair the armor, Yodman is just gonna like just begrudgingly help go and set up camp. In the meantime,
Okay, so yeah, setting up the camp itself is not actually going to require a roll on this one, although that is an expedition activity, I suppose. So if you are guys, if you want to look in the journal section, you can see should be able to see expedition activities and camp actions as two separate things. So yeah, for making camp.
It doesn't tell me what checks I'm supposed to make.
Yeah.
That's what it does.
Yeah, I think it's you can make whatever's in your heart. A sleight of hand to set things up, just a straight athletics to whatever
I'll go
works for your
athletics
character.
to set up the tents. Let's go.
Oh my god! Sorry, I just realized my squinting to try and read things, but I've had everything on low power. It was all dark. Oh, that's why I couldn't read anything. Okay, so yeah, then Mikkel, you were doing some crafting and basically doing repairs. As let's see, yeah, you can make a check with your relevant tools.
I don't actually need to make a check to repair. I just need to spend 2 hours.
Yeah, but if you fail, you will take a penalty to your next morale save, as
Okay.
just because you get depressed that that didn't work. But if you're repairing actual equipment, then
My half
because
plate, please.
the Dorman's armor got a massive like dent in it from getting kicked by an elk, so it could definitely use hammering up.
All right. Let's see. 17.
Okay, yeah, you absolutely some basic panel beating to be done there, but you do that as Gorm manages to set up a wonderful camp. Carmilla, you unfortunately only managed to catch a hare for yourself, but you can smell as Gorm begins cooking that there is going to be food there. Perhaps maybe not quite as fresh as you like it though, so the hare will have to do.
The hair is enough.
Yeah, didn't we still have some salmon from morning's catch?
We have 6 cat meat we just killed like an hour ago.
Eating cat, I feel like is a bad idea. You did cook the salmon that you caught. You didn't catch any extra salmon when you were with the
Okay,
grunt.
yes, we had a good breakfast. Yeah, so I guess Svenja's performance is not entrancing and it's not up to a usual standard. So dinner is a quiet and subdued affair.
I'd like to try and help Svenja with her entertainment thing.
Okay, yeah. So what is the entertainment here? And then you can explain how you're going to help. You said you were singing the sort of more low key songs, but are you doing anything to specifically entertain your allies?
So yeah, I'm kind of just picturing it's not standing and not doing a show with gestures and all of that. She's basically just sitting around the campfire. I think the lyre is the instrument that she's carrying with her, and horn, and just sort of singing a couple of popular songs, and maybe try one of her own compositions and things. But singing is not really her thing. So storytelling is really what she excels at if she gets into that. So tonight she's not in the mood to really tell stories.
Yeah, I will say you can make you will be able to make that roll again with advantage, another performance. However, that depends on what Ursula's doing to help as you are telling these stories, and just some light music around the campfire. But as you try and lighten them,
It's gonna be using sape water, sort of animate to the music or whatever she's saying.
Okay.
you like animating like the snow.
Can I use it on snow?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's water.
Yeah, the spell freezes water. I see no reason why the snow couldn't be affected. But yeah, you can absolutely animate the snow as part of this.
Okay, so this is a little bit like Elsa and Olaf in what's that movie called?
Frozen. Let it go. Let it
You
go.
forgot,
God, no.
the title of the movie, but remembered those characters as well.
Yeah.
Why? Oh,
You gotta watch it now as punishment. You just after the game, you're just gonna sit and watch Frozen 1 and 2.
Oh shit! I've not watched Frozen 2.
I haven't watched the first one, so it's fine.
Oh man.
Yeah, see, my kids were still in that age group when the first one came.
Man, like you don't need to be a kid. Like I enjoy that movie. I think I have the first one. I don't have the second one.
Oh hell yes! No, I'm a big fan of animation. I think Monsters Inc. was my all-time favorite. To fuck is awesome. Anyway, yeah. So okay, with advantage at 10, the dice are speaking.
Let It Go is
yeah,
actually
and
really good though.
so with that would mean the 12 from before, which is enough. That is not a failure, and you guys will your morale will be boosted, and you will all get a boost to your next morale save. So basically, everyone is going to have advantage on their next morale save.
I got a
As
27 on the cooking check. This is 8,
yeah,
so I'm good.
the that is like, regardless of how entertained you were, the food is good tonight. This is Gorm has actually got the time to prepare some food. So what are you making? You still had some fresh ingredients, but do you remember what that actually?
We didn't get any specific meat from the camp, just as rations. I'll just make, what are they called? Kebabs, like pierce them on a stick.
Yeah. So
Yeah, kebab. Yeah, I didn't get it wrong.
so for making a camp, for making the camp, you succeeded on that with the strength, but that means that rested characters will be able to re-roll a failed ability check. So tomorrow you're all going to have one free re-roll. But yeah, with the cooking, that's more like I don't think that's a normal camp activity. Let's see.
No, it's just from just cooking from
You,
Kibbles.
you get a feast, yeah.
Yeah, just normal feast. I think you can.
Okay.
Let's see. I think you can roll one extra hit die, but we're long resting, so it doesn't affect us.
No, it does though. It stacks up, so you'll get an extra hit die the next time you roll. You need to roll hit dice. So that it'll be easy to track because we are assuming that everyone is eating. If like you can just track it yourself if you were abstaining from food for some reason, but it smells damn good.
Or they get additional hit dice equal to my cook proficiency bonus. Oh, instead. So they get 3 extra. Wait, is it? It's just cook's proficiency bonus. It's just 2 extra instead of 1. Because they're proficient with the tools.
Okay. So yeah, so tomorrow you'll have 2 extra hit dice, and then that means that you'll essentially be able to travel further in a day, like take on more encounters, because the short rest will mean more. But for tonight, you have got a nice camp set up, and it has been a longer journey than you guys have done before, but so far haven't lost anybody. It's looking good. You will need to probably take a watch if you guys are going to do that overnight, but let me know who is taking which watch. They would be, I think they're, I mean, you guys probably know how to take a watch.
I'll take first once.
I can take second.
Can do third.
Okay, are you guys, I mean, I assume you're doubling up, or are you just doing 3 one-man watch?
We said have 4, I think. Cause
Shit. Okay, so I was on mute. I think we should be doubling on watches. Camilla's the only one that doesn't need a long rest. So Svenja will double up on first watch with. Maybe Camilla needs to double up on twice. I don't know. Is that unfair to Camilla?
Yep.
I mean, yes, because I don't want to double up with the Carmilla. I have Shepard.
That's true.
What he
Okay,
says
so-
is that you may find German with a knife in his back. And I didn't see anything.
That's not
Okay.
very cash for money. I need him to heal out his runes. So much rune research.
Real. But yes, that's. I think we're fine just doing one one person up each.
It's 2 perception saving throws versus 1.
Look, if something happens, you're going to be able to scream before it kills you. We'll know.
Thank you. That makes me feel more comfortable. I'll wait for you in Valhalla, saying thank you for letting me die. Fucker,
Exactly.
Just in your mead.
Either you'd scream before you die or die while screaming.
Don't piss in your fucking cereal. Like...
Ah,
I
So
have
this is
no
the-
mouth and I must scream.
there is an inner barbarian creed. Some says I came into this world naked, bloody, and screaming, and I've got no issue going out the same way.
You have no mouth and you must scream, Camilla.
I just
Thank
want you to, like,
Harlan Ellison.
just fully understand the look Yorman is giving you, just like kind of blank. I don't know, and I don't care for whatever the fuck you just said. That sounds like nerd shit.
Called you a nerd.
Hmm.
Genuinely.
You can go teasing.
Nerd.
She is essentially the group nerd, so she's okay with being teased by you.
I feel like you're the group nerd when it comes to like history and not just like, you know, stories.
Yeah, that nerd, not the smart person. She's the nerd. You don't
Not
have
the
to be smart to be a nerd.
Nerd like Odin is a nerd, like knows everything.
Yeah, so yeah,
Like,
that's maybe a good. Yeah, so Loki is clever, but Odin is nerdish. Yeah, in the same way. Looking at Mikkel, who's the brainiac.
Yes.
Oh.
So back to topic. Are we doing like one man watches or are we just?
Yeah,
Are we,
I think we
okay.
can do one man watches.
Okay, all right then. One watches.
It's fine. You can have Shepherd if you like.
Do we have a guardian of faith, Camilla?
We have a cleric.
Do we?
I mean, I know Gorm's a cleric, but what?
That's just heartful.
Oh. Oh, sorry.
Yeomans is once again just
Guard the
forgotten.
I'll guard the faith while sleeping. It's fine.
I forgot.
You forgot, right?
Okay, well, as the first night arrives, then who is on that first one?
Me.
Okay, you can give me a perception check if it is just you. Okay, yeah, not bad. As you sit and look out over the forest, you do hear the normal sounds of forest nightlife, and you hear some roaring coming from those crag cats again. But in the distance, they seem quite far away, and your watch passes without much issue. Taking us on to the second watch.
That would be
Who-
Mikkel.
Okay,
Let's see.
Perception
Let's
from
see.
me as well, please.
Yes. Maybe 17.
Okay, yeah, you watch out. It is much quieter now. However, you do notice a glint in the forest at the top of the trees, and you notice the eyes of a giant owl staring down at you, as it just seems to be watching the camp. But this bird is massive, and it's just sitting watching you. Are you going to do anything?
I'm just gonna whisper. That's fucking scary. Just ignore it.
You hear every now and then it lets out a screech that just echoes across the treetops, but it seems to be looking at you. And
I
yeah.
I do not wish to anger the big bird.
So you sit and like creep out by this bird for a while until your watch eventually comes to an end and it is still sitting there watching you.
Well, now it's not my problem anymore. Who was the third watch? Oh yeah, right.
Me.
Yormond. Right.
Yeah.
So no, as I wake you up, you know, making you ready for your watch. I'm just, So this is that bird over there. I'll just point in the general direction of its screams. It's been screaming for the last since my watch
Like,
started.
Yoiman hasn't even got up yet. You just woke him up. He's like, yeah, fuck off. Get up.
Yeah, well, have a good watch.
So, Yeoman, you can give me a perception as
Yep. Which
and you can,
habitable one?
yeah, if there's two of you, you can each roll.
Two.
Okay, so is it worth metagaming here? It's not quite metagaming. If you do mention the owl to Svenja, she will point out that it could be Odin's wife who has an owl as a spirit form. It's generally considered a wisdom and good luck. That's what uh, Vikings believe about owls. So if it's the
But you
same
also
giant
think,
owl, then it might be a good thing.
but you also might be missing that might just be an owl anyway, just a
A
normal ass
fucking
owl.
huge. No, it's fucking huge, mate.
Okay,
That's
it's a normal huge owl.
yeah, that's the thing with superstition. It could just be a black cat, or it could be a sign.
Yeah. I think it's just a black cat.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Svenja's a tad more superstitious.
You're this lacking thing.
Look, the only faith I need is faith in my halberd. Right?
Sounds like he needs some re-education from Gorm.
Yeoman, I would like you to please give me a Constitution saving throw. Tell you
Lovely.
why once you've rolled.
You've angered the gods.
As you are, where are you sitting to check your watch?
Just sitting on like a vaguely tough pile of snow, just exactly where I am on the map.
Okay, yeah, as you are sitting there, you kind of try and shift and you realize that you are like basically frozen to the spot. It is the ice is a little bit colder than you had expected, and your skin is like frozen to the ground. It does not feel good. You've got some bit of a burn there. Not mechanically, like you haven't lost any hit points, but you feel like uncomfortable as hell as you're sitting in this freezing cold spot. And you also, with a 17 on your perception, you will notice the owl sitting in the tree that is looking at you. And as you're sort of sitting there, just getting more and more uncomfortable with your watch, like trying to warm yourself up, this owl is going to let out one more of those screeches, and as you just glance up at it, it is gone, and you don't see where it went, but it has clearly left the tree. And then Shepard, with an 18, he's going to start like growling up at the sky. He seems to be like growling at the clouds. And then you will see something falling from the sky towards you. And I will need a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage as this thing is hurtling towards you and you are frozen to the spot.
Oh, you can't be serious.
Did he shit on Yormond?
Please shout me.
No, not quite either. Yeah, should have said yes. No, but what does hit you is a carcass of what is some kind of animal. You're not sure what it is as it hits you, but there is just blood and viscera that just explodes over your face as this. Uh, it seems like some sort of giant rat, like some kind of rodent. You can't actually identify what it is, as it has been ripped to shreds by possibly talons. And you hear the owl screech again as you see it, but don't hear it flying over you. And it seems like it brought this to you as a gift, but you are now just covered in blood and frozen, and it's just nasty. You will have that advantage from the morale check tomorrow is gone for you.
Oof. Harsh.
No good deed goes unpunished. Give an owl lunch and he'll shit on your old butt, literally.
It looks like he brought you lunch back. It's just
His
nasty.
lunch.
Like, to be clear, he didn't. This didn't come from inside the owl. It dropped something from its talons that it caught, but it sort of exploded when it hit you. It was not a graceful handing over, and whatever it caught seems like a giant rat and is not worth eating.
Yeah. See, you gave it some sushi and it gave you back some McDonald's.
When like someone throwing a burger in your face.
Yes, made of rat.
It's the
Dude,
Hamburglar.
I want a Big Mac like fastballed into my gut, like not to eat. I just want it to hit me in the torso.
Can be arranged. Send us an address.
The woman, as you're sitting there, sort of wiping the just blood and guts off of you, like getting annoyed at this owl, you'll hear a snarling sound as you turn and you look at Shepard, and he is looking at you, just baring his teeth in full like wolf face, as it is just growling and looking directly at you, like he looks like he's about to attack, but you're not sure why.
I'm going to kind of get up but also turn around. See if there's something behind me.
You take a look, doesn't seem like anything. You look out into the dark and you see nothing, but you look back at Shepard and he's moved his gaze to meet yours. He seems to be growling at you, definitely.
I'd like to roll an insight.
Yeah, absolutely. Shepard's about to kill you. He's head up for some reason, and you're about to die. What are you going to try and do about it? Because he's about to learn.
I'm going to animal handling check and slowly give out my hand, just like underhanded.
Okay. Yeah, you can give me that animal hand.
17.
What do you get advantage?
Frost rune.
Oh no, I will remember that one day. Yeah, as you do this, it continues like snarling, and then as you bring your hand right up in front of his face, he is going to basically snap at you, but not going for your hand, going for the like guts that are still left on you, and he's going to make an attack against you. So please, can you roll for that? But then with a 17, he's only going to get that one little snap at you, and as he kind of goes for you. Let's see if he hits.
Yep, that does it.
Okay, so yeah, Shepard is going to bite you once. You can roll the damage on that as he sinks his teeth into you, and then as soon as he actually tastes like your blood, he's going to like back off and start whining and put his tail between his legs like a dog that knows it's done something naughty, you know. But you do take that 9 points of piercing damage as Shepard just
Holy
turns
crap.
on you for a second.
9 points. It's newspaper time for you, Shepard.
Yeah, can I clock out of my shift early?
yeah, you will still get a long rest at the end of this, but we'll wake up with a, a healing bite wound. Who are you? Who's waking for the next shift?
I can't remember who he said, but I'm happy that Svenja takes it.
Only planned free Sith, so like everyone else could be awake now, except for me, Mikhail, and Normand.
Okay, you corrected me and said 4. So I thought we were doing 4, but we'll say Svenja and Camilla, if you both want to wake up for this one, you can. And there is going to be one more because Yormund is trying to come back early because he's been injured by his own dog. So, yeah, who are you waking there?
You know what? Fuck you, Carmilla.
Yeah, Miller, you wake up and you can smell blood in the air immediately as someone's been hurt. Someone's, Svenja, you are waking up of your own accord nearby, but for Miller, you see that there has been an incident.
So, yes.
Your turn to watch. I'm going to bed.
What happened? Yeah, blood? Someone attacked you?
What happened is something, and now I am going to bed. I've not had a good few hours.
She is going to try and persuade him. You can tell me, you know that. It will stay our secret if you want it to be. Nothing to be embarrassed about.
If you keep me awake for one more minute, I'm cutting you in half.
Okay, 12 on a persuasion check clearly wasn't. Fine.
This isn't something you can persuade. It's just Yormund is tired. He will tell you in the morning.
Does this smell like chloroform?
Okay, Grumpy, go sleep.
Miller and Svenja, can you please give me either a perception or an arcana check as you're looking at this grumpy woman?
I'm going to go with Arcana, I think. Fuck. 10.
24.
Okay, so yeah, with a 10, you don't know why, like, what his problem is. But Camilla, you can smell there is something on Yormund that is like bad. It smells like actually something similar to your hunter's mark when it seems like Yormund has been marked by a creature that like in the same sort of sense, but it is not a ranger that's done this. This is like some kind of magical effect that is on him, and you know that wildlife will be inclined to try and attack him.
Ooh.
I mean, you can just not tell Yormund and he'll be fine.
And that is what we will do.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lose any sleep over him.
Camilla wishes you night sleep, and Camilla and Svenja, you are on the last watch. You can give me the last perception check as you guys take one.
Okay, only a 23.
And there, I was quite happy with my 18.
Okay, yeah, well, Svenja with the 18, you see the owl sit back up in the tree, and it seems to be watching as you have your superstitious ponderings about who that could possibly be, or if that is just a regular owl. But it does not wait around long as you are getting into the early hours of the morning. It is still completely dark, but the owl does take flight again and fly away. You quickly lose sight of it. But Camilla, as you are taking your watch, you notice that there's a lot more extra wildlife that seems to have shown up just during your watch. It seems like they are probably attracted by whatever's on Yormund, and you can see that there are just like strange little critters, mostly like there are angry squirrels around rather than, it's not like there are packs of wolves or anything. But if you go into some dangerous areas, that could be bad. You also see the owl, of course, but when it flies away, you will notice that it flies in the same direction that you guys are headed. It flies sort of up north that way, and you also lose sight of it eventually. But your watch passes without much incident, and yeah, we come through to the following morning. You have all managed to get a long rest.
Spell slots back, baby.
Charm animal back, baby.
So does Yorman still smell of rat guts and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, when he wakes up, the bite wound will have healed a bit, as you guys have got magic D&D sleeping powers, but you are definitely still, there is that same smell coming off of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can find somewhere to wash.
It can take a couple of minutes and just sort of prestidigitate it off him as much as possible, not the skin and stuff, but off the armor and cloak and so forth.
Yeah, you
I
can.
feel like having a wash would be just nicer and easier.
Yeah, okay.
In the winter.
Well, I'm sure I can find liquid somewhere.
We could just cut off his
Or
hand.
normal temperature liquid.
Yeah, I mean there are the rivers that you've passed by on that are a little walk away, but that is in pretty dense woods, so running off on your own might not be the best idea. However, also there is snow you can, I guess, try and use.
Yeah, we
There's-
have a fire. I mean, does
Oh, yeah.
everyone have a bucket?
Well, Svenja's feelings are now hurt, so she will distinctly show you how she scoops snow into a mug of some sort and heats it up and makes tea for herself and drinks it while she watches you trying to wash yourself with snow. Because you insulted her twice.
Well, I asked for a bucket. I'm not trying to wipe myself with snow.
Well, I have a pot, a cooking pot, but only if you promise to bring it back in the same condition.
Yes,
I give it to you.
Thank you.
love the idea of Svenja just like brushing off any dirt and like anything that's on her with this simple prestidigitate, but like, yeah, okay, cool, you make life hard on yourself there, but as
Yeah, but so not
Okay,
only
you
is
can
he-
clean
is
the
he wa-
blood off my fucking.
No, no, no.
But what about the dead carcass. What about the rest of it just sitting there?
It's not-
Bits.
You see,
Bone.
he's missing the point. Not only has she cleaned herself off, she has warmed up Snow into nice hot water and made herself tea
Bath.
while you are trying to wash yourself with Snow.
Yeah, but
Yorman's having the
no,
like
you're a
survival
magic
experience.
caster. It's like an inherent, like, disability. You're insufferable.
Yeah, so this is like a double fuck you. Yeah, this is like two hands.
It's just something all spellcasters are born with: insufferableness.
Yeah, I don't know if he's the insufferable one here at the moment. Yorman goes off to have his survival experience while Svenja looks like she's at the lodge, and it's Norway versus Sweden here. If you, I think, as you, what are you doing to try and clean yourself off there, Yorman?
Just literally scooping up snow, heating it over the fire until it's just melted, and throw it over myself until I'm eventually vaguely clean.
You manage to get most of the viscera off of you, though the smell remains. It seems like you're going to need a much better scrub than that. Um, it's like when a stink bug gets you or something, you know, you just can't wash it off.
Big one.
Yeah, other than the smell, you presentable enough for a Viking. As what are the rest of you doing with your morning before you continue on with your hike? I mean, you've basically got as much time as you want today before you continue on, but you are not too far away from the caves where Ulfilt has told you that the bear resides, and
Yeah,
we can. Don't worry that she's not here. Like, there's not enough time to actually get to a bear encounter yet. So
The bear,
can
the
let me know
bear, the
where you
maiden bear.
I will start like dismantling the camp, I guess.
Yeah, I'll help.
So at this point, because you've reached a waypoint, you can choose your roles again. And God, can they skip the music? This is bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stick with camper.
I stick with the same.
Yep. Look
I
out
do
and
be
scout.
crafting.
Yeah, we're sticking with the same rules.
Amazing.
So then, to kick things off, Ursula, I'm going to need a navigation check from you if you're still the navigator.
Was that nature or does that have to be survival?
Think
Can be
navigator
the thing.
rules and wisdom, I guess.
Yeah, so I'll allow you to do something that makes sense for your character for these kinds of roles. So long as you've got a reason why it would use that check, you can make it.
So does nature work?
Yeah, nature can work, but what are you doing to actually make it nature? Are you just trying to plot out the terrain that you're going to be moving through, or are you like, is this just based on wildlife?
I don't know, something like that.
Oh, that was your okay. Uh, so have you made that roll?
Yeah, 12.
Okay, with the 12, yeah, you know that you're heading north. Ulfilt will kind of be directing you as to where she fought the bear last. But you guys, we can move back to the area map as you'll pack up and get ready to move. Okay, so you guys, as you begin your march again, it is not all that far away. It's less than a mile to the bear's cave. But as you go around in the forests, you notice there are not many signs of bears in this area. It is the middle of winter, so where you would find a bear is sort of up to you to decide. But you know that you are in the right area according to Ulfield. There are some caves nearby, and there is a whole mass of forest leading all the way up to a river. Where would you guys like to go search for the bear?
Caves where the bears hibernate. See if she can remember something about bears and hibernation. And let's do a weird hibernation check thing.
Yeah, so you can absolutely. Yeah, I was going to say you could make that with advantage, as it is exactly what a nature check would get you. With a 14, you are absolutely able to tell as well that the caves nearby are more than big enough to hold a hibernating bear, and that is probably your best bet. Though, Camilla, you also remember that you saw Ulfield fighting the bear like fairly recently, and that was during winter. So there's a small chance that this bear is not hibernating. But if it was, those caves nearby would definitely be a good bet. They look like icy from even the outside, the entire like mounds of them. It's not like full mountains here or anything, but you are at the top of these hills where some of the rivers begin to run down from, and it is probably freezing cold inside any of these caves. But it's pretty freezing cold everywhere you go. So, are you going to try and head into those caves, or has someone else got a better idea?
I would assume that. Well, never mind. With this weather, there will be no trucks or anything. Yeah, the caves are the best option.
Well, tracking in winter is actually much easier because they'll leave deep tracks in the snow.
Did it snow last night? Like anything
Yeah,
that
it
might
is. It
cover
is. It was snowing pretty hard when you arrived at the portal. So any tracks from yesterday are probably gone. But bear tracks, you imagine if there was a bear living in this area, like if it had gone out hunting at all this morning, you would probably be able to notice it quite easily outside the cave. So the cave entrance would be a dead giveaway. But as Svenny said, if it's hibernating, might be no track. But if you want to search for tracks, you can totally give it survival.
Yeah, I'll give it a try. No, nope. No tracks.
You do find a massive pile of what looks like owl shit. Looks and sort of smells like what was on Yeoman this morning, but yeah, other than that, no bear track.
I'm out of ideas. Unless we're entering the caves. Look for the bear.
You must enter the tunnel.
Probably the best idea.
Okay. As you all make your way over towards this cave entrance, you see there is a little rabbit just outside. You don't see any tracks outside it, but you do see the ones from this rabbit that seems to have just approached and is sitting in the entrance, looking up into a freezing looking cave. I hope you guys can see this time.
You can see into the cave like
Think
to a
so.
certain extent.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, fully
Yeah, I mean, there should be
approach the.
walls.
Carefully approach the rabbit. Carefully. Not gonna
Okay,
get.
do that without a roll, I'll say. That it seems quite interested in the inside of the cave.
Tries to pick up the rabbit.
Alright, it notices last second as you can give me a sleight of hand check to try and pick up a wild rabbit. But you have snuck one into a rabbit at this point.
11.
Yeah, as you try and grab it, it slips out of your hands and just Heart is going to use its reaction to try and burrow into the snow. As
Mission
rabbit is-
accomplished.
yeah, it goes into the snow. You can see it's probably just hiding in the hole, like right in front of you still, because it didn't have far to go into the ground here. Seems quite frozen, but there's a lot of snow for it to bury into. So, yeah, it is probably still close by, but it is hiding. And the rest of you see this open cavern. Does not seem inviting at all.
You know, whenever the DM says don't go in here, you
Enter the tunnel.
know.
It's like
You know,
don't
my
push the big red
signposting,
button.
if it's like will definitely die in here, will be more obvious. This just looks like it's cold and kind of miserable in there.
I'll light the torch because I can't see anything.
Okay,
And move
you
in.
just hold on, Camilla. Seriously, you know there's 7 people playing this game. Let's not rush all the way in. You can stop right there, please. As you have chosen a path and are making your way down it, what are the rest of you that are still standing at the entrance doing?
I'm lighting a torch and then moving in.
Shit, how do I turn my token around on Foundry again? Sorry.
You can
R?
either hold R and just in the direction you want to move, or Shift and WASD work as well.
Ah, there we go. Perfect.
Miko's gonna turn up, light a torch as well.
Just looking at
Start
the other
heading out.
people and shrugging and saying, what? Okay, I guess we should follow.
Yeah, we shouldn't, but
I don't want to explain to him, otherwise she's dead. My mother
well, I
also-
was just a bit bored. I wanted to see something happen.
Okay, so once again, running ahead of the pack, Milo, what are you doing and Ursula as you guys just fucking beeline right into the cave without saying a word?
Checking for danger.
All right, you notice several pits around you that the ground seems frozen and it seems quite slippery as you get out here. Carmela, you don't quite notice how slippery it is until Ursula arrives behind you, and your sort of ability is helping you a bit on the ice here. But you can make an investigation check if you are searching for anything else that may be obviously dangerous in here. As are the rest of you going to follow down the same path, or are you going to go in different directions?
There are cracks in the ground. That is what I find.
I would like to watch at least one of them die.
Camilla, you don't notice the spikes at the bottom of those pits, but you do notice the pits on either side. But it doesn't seem like that big a deal.
So are
I'm just
either
gonna
of them
follow them
carrying a
slowly.
torch or a light or anything like that?
I've got a torch lit.
Okay, so we can see the light going down the left-hand side, right-hand side.
So if you write on your token and you, there should be a little torch icon that you can press, and your character will actually light up. Or Oh wait, did I just switch on the shared vision?
It's not. Oh wait. Oh, there you go.
I think you just did now.
Now can you all see what Camilla can see?
Yes.
Okay. Then now
Yeah, I
you should
can.
be able to see what you can see.
Oh, yeah, now.
Wait, really? So now you can see from Camilla's perspective.
No. Now I'm just seeing for my own.
Okay, good. That's what it's supposed to be. So
But I can see from Camilla's perspective now.
Same.
are you guys sure you're not just looking down the same passage?
Yeah, so I can see 60 feet ahead of Camilla, which is.
Okay, there we go.
further
So, and now?
no, still the
Whatever.
same.
Who
Yeah,
gives a
don't
shit?
worry. Don't worry, we won't. We'll pretend we don't see. We just can see her.
Yeah, it's just your guys' vision is related to the torches, and which way are you going?
Or I'm guessing we should follow Camilla just so she doesn't kill herself. What? So there, where the white ends and the dark starts, is that sort of cave edge of the ice, or what can I see from here?
So from where you're standing now, you can basically see like 3 paths. The one that Camilla's just gone down, well, maybe 4. I'm not sure exactly how much you can see, but there are basically 4 directions you can take from that entrance. There's the one that Camilla's gone down, where she's just seen some pits, and the other ones seem less obvious what is in there, but they all seem to lead deeper into the caves. And it seems like this is a whole like tunnel network in here. You do hear. You can give me a perception check to actually see, as you can faintly hear sounds coming from the bottom one that you were sort of facing towards. And you can all give me a perception check. As yeah, you just hear probably wind down the tunnel.
No, I'm just hearing Yorman cursing Camilla.
That's what you're all hearing.
Do you kiss your mother with that mouth?
So you almost, yeah, as you start shouting after Camilla, you're about to like go off at her, and then you stop because you hear something like echo back across at you, and you kind of put your hand up as you definitely just heard a bear.
Can I have Shepherd try and find where that came from?
I mean, he wouldn't have any more information than you, but he can try and seek
Well, I'm
something
just
out. Like he can try and sniff something out. But that
well,
sounded like it came from all directions. It was somewhere deeper in the cave. But from your perspective, it would have sounded like it was coming out of the 2 tunnels on your side.
so guys, there's a bear here.
That's
Sure
good.
as hell sounds like it.
Yeah,
That's
and
why
I
we're
don't
here.
like those pits, so I would propose going this way. Thoughts? Anything? Anyone?
I would like to have a look at. So just looking down in this first pit is what it looks like is essentially a hole with like ice stalactites and stuff at the bottom, stalagmites, so spiky bits.
Spike.
Right.
Stalagmite,
can-
yeah.
With your perception there, it is quite dark in there. You can see sort of glinting coming off of the frozen tips of those spears, but there is it's hard to tell that there are that many spikes down there. It just looks like a pit trap. But yeah, you can sort of tell that slipping off of the ice into that hole would not be fun for you.
Okay.
By this
So
point,
what you would like to do is just take a tiny chunk of ice or something, cast the light cantrip on it, and drop it down to get a better view of the pit. And the reason I'm doing that is as a fallback plan. If we have to run from the bear, whether we can lure it into the pits would be why she's curious about how they're working.
yeah, that is, you absolutely are able to illuminate it and get that full, like, pungy pit vibe. You are absolutely right. They are frozen spikes, and you know that it would be very likely that slipping on this ice it could lead to impalement quite easily. So yeah, seems like a good idea.
Okay, so for the record, sharing with everybody else, dangerous pits don't slip. Camilla, this means you. We're going down this way if you want to join us. Sort of whisper in the stage whispery thing that just carries down all the way to Camilla.
So yeah, Miller, you had made your way down. Are you going to continue down that path, or are you going around?
Continuing this way. Since that's the same way, it's just around the pit.
Cool, you hit a flat wall. As for the rest of you, are you heading down that tunnel? Go. You can move your tokens.
I'll stay fairly in the front because I'm holding a torch.
Oh, yes, please. It looks like this floor is about to crack below.
Yeah, the space is actually slightly illuminated. It's not completely dark in here, as there's this bluish glow coming off the walls and off these sort of frozen crystals around. But as you round the corner, you will hear the rushing of wind as you see there is a sort of chasm in front of you, as the ground has just been split apart, and it is not going to be something you can just walk over. This will require a nice jump, but it is slick and icy.
Yeah.
Could definitely jump that, but I think I'd rather take my chances with some pits.
Do you think? I don't know, does anyone have pythons or something?
Yeah.
Cool, just
Talking
make a
about
rope
rope.
for getting a... Yeah, I also have rope. Cool, let's use them.
Sounds good.
So you guys, you can also, I will say, you can make an intelligence sleight of hand check to try and build a decent thing across it.
Since it'd be helping, that'd be with advantage.
Yeah, if you, it depends on who's rolling, but if it's two of you, then whoever's rolls will be with advantage. Yeah.
Do you want to roll?
Sure. It was sleight of hand with intelligence, right?
Intelligence based sleight of hand. So
Yeah.
you can, I mean, your Smith's tools basically do the right thing anyway because they're already, but it should be an intelligence based check. We'll use for knots and things. I'm using some variant rule that says intelligence based sleight of hand, and then if someone's like breaking out of it, then they use dexterity or acrobatics to try and get out. But for actually tying it up and making knot the rope things will be intelligence sleight of hand.
Makes
Okay.
sense.
And then you roll it.
Yo.
23.
Yeah, I mean, you are. So, what are you actually trying to build here? You can easily tie a rope to a python and like get that properly staked in here, but if you want to set it up on the other side as well, you'll obviously have to get there somehow. So, what are you trying to do?
Sorry, hang on a second. How big is the cat? And well, how big is the bit that is next to the wall?
Are you going to do the light again?
I am going to do the parkour thing, yes, with the bloody armor that you gave me. I just
No,
want
I
to see
mean,
if I
I thought,
have enough strength to jump that far.
yeah, yeah, I mean, the problem is more that it's slick and slippery than it is um, the distance of the gap. But with that parkour armor, you would definitely be able to run along the wall to get there. You feel like that would actually probably be safer than trying to make the jump.
So the thinking here is that she will do that and tie the rope to something solid on the other end, so we don't have to take a chance.
Yeah, you can absolutely help them by doing that. Then, Mikkel, you would be able to complete the contraption on both sides essentially with Svenja's help there.
All right.
Is the wall like, of the cave count as solid ground? Okay, solid ground.
It just
What?
I was about to ask, I have a spell that requires solid ground, but I don't think the wall counts as ground exactly. Ground, but it's
Yeah,
icy, so
Just a
well,
question
no,
of perspective.
yeah. So what is the spell? 'Cause that may be a rule of cool thing we can do, but
where is it? Nature's ladder. I can cause a tree to sprout from an unoccupied space of solid ground that I can see within range.
yeah, that you can whatever surface, so long as it's yeah, that you just spawning a tree. I use that spell a lot. I like that one. You can definitely do that from a wall. It might it might not stay there very long. Like these walls don't look the most solid, so roots may like it may break the wall, but you can definitely summon one of those trees.
Yeah, I'll keep note of it in case the rope doesn't hold.
Okay. So again, back to Mikkel. What is it that you building here? Svenja, what was that for? Did you do a flip?
That was to see if she sticks the landing.
Oh, goddamn, she does. What does it look like?
Well, I mean, she's the exhilaration as she jumps, and this, it's the first time she actually tries it with this real skin in the game, and it works so spectacularly that instead of just jumping off on the other side, she almost does like a half somersault twirl. You like when gymnastics dismount. So she, instead of just jumping off, she flips her feet over her head and turns sideways, lands, bows at the audience on the other side. In sort of that fabulous move.
Yeah, absolutely. You totally stick the landing, and this whole parkour thing, the thing seems to be working out quite well for you. But as you then go to help Mikkel finish setting this thing up, Mikkel, what is it that you are creating here?
pulley
Well,
system.
Yeah, pulley system, so we can get over.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not really sure what that means, but sure.
Basically, a way of using two anchors for a single end of rope, or three anchors.
Yeah, I know what a pulley is. Fucking
No, but
Are we going to
that,
like
that's
I don't
Tarzan
exactly
know how
what a
that's
pulley
gonna
West
help
system
you
Tiger?
is.
get to the other side
Oh,
without like you'd need like a tram or like a cable car kind of thing to move across. But we'll say you are able to create at least a little with a little plank of wood or something that you can move across on the pulley.
just pull yourself across the rope.
Yeah, well then you don't need pulleys. You just need to string the rope across.
No, just for strength, like just so it holds a whole person.
Yeah, but that's use a block and tackle for that. But anyway, which I suppose is a kind of pulley system. So you make yourselves a nice single strand to get across, and I will need an athletics check from everyone that is trying to make their way across. But it is not a massive gap, so not a huge DC.
Famous
Really
last
should have
words.
taken a proficiency with this.
Or acrobatics, I suppose. That's either or would work.
Hmm.
Yeah, don't worry, Yeoman. I'm sure eventually you'll get proficiency in athletics just based on being a fighter. It's like the only strength proficiency you can.
I just realized something. Is there a wall between the gaps? I'm just
You
gonna.
just saw Svenja run across.
I just there, jump up on the wall and just run across it.
Yeah, you absolutely. You don't need a check for yours because of your ability, but
Yeah.
you can make a check if you want to see if you stick the landing as well as Svenja did. But as for the rest of you, you make your way across without too much trouble. However,
That's fine.
yeah, no, it does not look nearly as good. But to be fair, you actually like stick to the wall when you run. Like she's still just tapping against it. It's kind of a different thing. You can kind of claw into the wall as you go. It is much creepier when you do it. But as the rest of you are going across this little single strand, Yormund, unfortunately, your armor is fucking heavy, and getting across this, it's not like it's holding well, but you are just having to put in some extra effort. And just as you are getting to the other side, you start to like lose steam, and you drop your legs, and you are just hanging from the rope at this point. You may require a little bit of assistance to get across, but Shepard is like a winter wolf, so he won't actually. He just jumps the gap. He's like they live in caves like this. So he can do that naturally fine. But what are you guys going to do? As Yormund looks like he nearly falls into the.
Or
I'll
can
rush
we?
to grab him and pull him off.
Yeah, and I will
on.
assist Camilla by. Yeah,
Not
you,
over.
Camilla can pull him up, and I'll just hold on to the back of Camilla's armor or cloak or whatever.
Nope. I'm just gonna let him fall.
I think it was Gorm. I think he was gonna.
If it was Stormont, nope, not gonna help him.
No, I would love Camilla's help so I can pull her down with me.
Yeah,
I
but
think you are
you
in a
must
position
just
to
fall and
negotiate.
die. He chose to fall and die by himself.
I'll fucking push you and see if you chose to fall and die.
I just stick to a wall.
But if you two don't try and create a narrative where you eventually end up as best friends, I think I'm giving up D&D. Is someone helping Yormund?
Yeah, Gorm.
Okay, Gorm, you can give me another athletics. And Ursula, I see you moved up there. Are you helping him?
Yeah.
Okay, so Gorm, you can make that one with advantage, or Ursula, you can roll your own one.
Okay, I shouldn't have rolled with advantage then.
That's all right. We'll then Ursula make that. Her assistance is just enough to push you over, and with everyone sort of creating this chain, Sven getting involved as well, everyone manages to just catch onto Yormund as you pull him back onto the ice, and you are successfully on the other side. At this point, you have a little bit more tunnel ahead of you, but you see it starts to actually feel a little bit warmer as you carry on heading down this tunnel, and you can hear in the distance a faint sound of what sounds like dripping water.
Drippy.
And you
Drip.
can. You should see a little cave symbol there that you can.
It's
press on.
disabled.
I clicked on it.
It's disabled.
We can press the button, right?
Yeah, it's still giving disabled. Yeah, I like Camilla's parkour thing. Camilla is more kind of sticking to the wall, and Svenja is more kind of getting it done quickly before gravity finds out it's going down.
You're actually doing parkour. Camilla's got some unholy shit carrying her along that wall. It's oh man, why now? Okay, well, while we wait, you guys do continue on forwards, and you will find some what look like broken boulders and things ahead of you. It seems like the ice sort of lets up a bit, but there's still a little bit of a ways to go through this tunnel. But as you come into a warmer section, it looks like a decent place to make camp. I'd like everyone to give me an investigation or perception check.
Mm. 18.
For a second, I thought I may have lost you. I had to refresh. So, can you call out your rolls? And 18 from Camilla.
14.
18 from
22.
Jordan.
26 for Svenja.
16 Gorm.
Okay, so all of you will actually see on the ground as you head just around the corner. You will see a small blood trail as it seems to lead deeper into the tunnel and towards the sound of that water dripping. But Svenja, with that high roll, you notice something strange about this blood. It is not like it's not the right color. It actually seems to be glowing slightly, and it seems just there's like something within you that recognizes that, almost like you've seen that when you've bled yourself and you thought it was weird, but no one else ever seems to notice. There's just a strange glow to the blood.
Hmm. Is it fresh? So it's still wettish? Or sort of lean down and take a glove off and touch with a finger.
Yeah, as you touch it, it will seem like it is just starting to congeal. It has probably not been here that long. It is relatively fresh, but as you touch it, a golden ripple will just emanate from your finger and in this little puddle of blood, as it like the wave of it just glimmers with gold.
Ooh. Interesting. Does anybody else see this?
Yeah, it is.
Clearly
It is
visible.
quite clearly, and the gateway is unlocked. You can walk.
Ah,
The Golden Acre. Clear Greek blood.
It's telling me I need to select a token.
Select your token list.
Well, I'm trying. And I can move it like it's selected. There it goes.
So, yeah, you guys you basically are where you are on the map. This is the sort of open, warm area that I mentioned, but the blood trail seems to curl around the corner and go deeper into the.
Which way does it go from here?
oh,
Yeah, the DM.
Oh.
oh, Oh,
Oh no.
He's coming back.
Oh,
he's back.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Sorry, my Discord freaked out there for a second. Heard you say which way does it, and then I disappeared.
Yeah. Which way does the blood go from here?
So it goes and deeper into the cabin on the left, like towards the left hand side. The right hand side looks completely open and empty. It just that's where I was saying it looked like a good place to camp.
Mm.
Well, I mean, it's relative. It's super early in the morning, so let's go and follow the blood trail. Right.
Yeah, what's the worst that can happen?
Lots of fun stuff. Okay, why am I suddenly not getting my token to move?
I see person.
So as you all make your way deep down this tunnel, you'll see a faint glow on the other side of the tunnel as you hear the lapping waves of water of inside this cavern kind of echoing through. But you will see a figure slumped up against the wall and wearing gleaming armor. The glow seems to be coming from this figure as they have got wings that are propping them up against the wall, but they look unconscious as their head is stooped low and they are spattered with blood completely. Their blood seems to be seeping into the water next to her, and that water seems to be glimmering as the blood touches it, just like it did when Svenja touched it, as she seems to be bleeding profusely.
I'm gonna try and see if I can help her.
Yeah, medicine check from you, please, as you rush in and try and assess her. I don't know what could have done this to her, but she looks like she may already be past the point of help. Something has slashed her open, and you can't even tell where the blood is coming from. There are too many wounds.
I mean, we
I-
have healing magic.
I get the impression this is like someone we're meant to know from like mythology. Can I roll a religion check or something?
Absolutely.
It's the Fairy Queen.
Religion. There it is. Hmm.
I mean, a 12 would be enough, but I feel like you wouldn't believe it. Like it's impossible because she looks like the stories of Valkyrie that you have heard. But why the hell would they be a Valkyrie?
Okay, so
Probably wouldn't have mentioned it then.
I'm going to ask that you indulge me a little bit. Up to now, Svenja has thought of herself as a typical human, but she's on instinct leans forward and just reaches out and touches this Valkyrie. And to her great surprise, this glow of healing energy comes out of her hands and goes into the Valkyrie as she does healing hands. So that would be, I don't know if it does anything specifically, but it would just, 3 points of healing energy flowing from her to this being.
I think you somehow healed Yeoman there. Oh,
Ah, okay.
So you did.
Selected her, so let me.
it's okay.
Well,
You don't. I can add that. But as you, yeah. Sorry. Was there more to that you?
No, that was just that this has never happened, that this energy came out of her hand. So she's used to using magic, but this healing thing for her is a surprise. It's a new thing.
Okay, yeah. So to that point, as you reach out and that magic sort of that healing magic starts to wash over this Valkyrie, you'll see the glow from her connecting with that glow around yours, and that it will sort of start to spread all the way up your arm as there is this aura that overtakes you completely, that seems to be connecting with this Valkyrie as that healing hands just like it seems like there is power behind that magic. So the wounds, they try to knit themselves closed, but it is just not enough. It seems like whatever caused these wounds is like magical and is keeping it open as she winces in pain, but she does regain consciousness as this happens. And she opens her eyes, which are also glowing. They look like there is a fire in them. As she looks at you, Svenja, she reaches out and she grabs onto your arm, just trying to pull you in closer as she looks delirious, but you hear her trying to mutter through like bloodied teeth as she just says, "Sister, you you have to stop it. It's it, it's not too late." And she seems like she recognizes you, but she seems completely out of it.
I have to stop who?
Uh,
Masked ones. And she like reaches behind her and she with a shaking hand she pulls up a piece of golden metal that you see is in the form of a face mask, and she holds it up to you like with this arm you can see is completely weak as the wings are starting to try and move, but she is just wincing in pain. She still seems like she is very near death.
Gorm, can you help? Can you save her? Is there something we can do for you? So Svenja would take the mask, I guess, if it's been offered to her.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you take it. It seems like a mundane, just a. I mean, it's clearly made of real gold, but it looks like a face mask. Probably not. It's more like a Greek death mask than different to anything you would have seen. Um, it looks like a humanoid face, as this aura around you, even after you have cast the healing hands, seems to stay there and is still. It's like the aura between you and this Valkyrie have kind of created one glowing light, and it is easy to see in this section of the cavern at the moment. For the rest of you, your torches are sort of made like null and void. But Gorm, what are you doing there?
Can I make like some sort of check to figure out if like, my healing is limited, but will it actually help her?
Yeah, you can also make a religion, or a medicine, whichever.
Since it's a Valkyrie, it counted as a celestial creature. I
Yeah.
assume. Cool advantage.
the streamer map is on the ice then, not the dripping cavern, by the way.
What? Oh, okay.
Is it religion or arcana or religion or medicine?
Religion or medicine. It depends what you're trying to tell. If you're looking into the like nature of the magic that's wounded her, then yeah, arcana would make sense.
Yeah, I'll make it the arcana check.
Okay, yeah, with a 20, you can tell that energy that has clearly wounded her looks similar to the energy that had wounded Ulfield and that Draugr was using, that it is this necrotic energy that seems to have like cursed her. It's clearly like that thing wanted to fight warriors of Valhalla, and it seems like it's an effective weapon as she has been wounded, and even holy magic is probably not enough to undo that, as it seems definitively unholy. But you won't know until you try. You just saw the thing that Svenja just did looks kind of similar to your healing magic, and that seemed to do something. So it seemed to wake her at least. So maybe.
I'll use a cast Cure Wounds.
Okay. Yeah. You can roll for that. Let's see. Don't target though, because I need to actually see them.
Oh, okay. Because I did target it. I'll remove it.
Yeah, thanks. The one time.
Oh my god. The lowest.
Okay. As you cast this out, you will see the wounds stretch across her body, and it will have the exact opposite effect of healing as she screams out in pain, and she takes 4 points of damage instead. If not for the healing she'd just gotten from Svenja, that probably would have killed her, as she looks like badly hurt, and yeah, it seems like that energy reverses healing magic and turns it into damage.
Yeah, healing magic will not work unless.
Yeah, so we need
try
an
to bandage. Just try to bandage her up and use non-magical type of healing and let her recover naturally. Have to figure out what cursed her and remove it.
You can try and make another medicine check. Is anyone else doing anything while he's trying to give this Valkyrie medical?
I'll try and help him with his medicine check.
Yeah, you can do that. So advantage there.
I'm quite frankly just amazed by what's happening.
He's amazed by it.
Okay, so as you and Ursula start trying to bandage the Valkyrie, it's like there are so many wounds that you were struggling to find where the bleeding was coming from, but now you realize that it is just coming from everywhere. As you start trying to remove pieces of her armor, you're just finding more and more of this. It's like it seems like the necrotic energy has sprayed through her body, and it is not just slashes and like wounds from swords and axes, but it is an infection that is opening new wounds all over her skin, and they are bleeding profusely. It doesn't look like she's going to make it more than a couple of minutes after this without some high level healing magic. You are bandaging and bandaging, but there's just no way to stop the bleeding at this point.
So Svenja would be talking to her and saying, "How can we stop this? How can I get you to go to Valhalla? Who did this? Was it the Tveherjar Draugr? What can I do? What must I do for you?"
She like grabs you by the collar and pulls you in, and she says, "Listen closely. You must find the one who bears the golden mask and put an end to her for good. She threatens everything. She has made her way into Odin's court, and soon she will have control of all of it. I don't know who is involved. It may be Loki, it may be all of them. But I need you to promise me that you will stop her."
this is a big promise. I will do what I can. I promise that I will do this or die trying.
She like lowers her head and with this look of sort of relief for just a second as she says, "Thank you, sister. I am sorry to place this burden upon you, but I cannot let it die with me. There is something else I must ask of you." And she kind of like doesn't even acknowledge Gorm and Ursula and like everyone around you, even though they're trying to help her. She's just looking at you with these burning eyes.
Yeah, so she would lean in closer and say, "Speak, speak your wish."
My sword. Bring me my sword, and let me take it up one more time, so that I may die in battle and return to Odin. Else,
Yeah.
I will not be welcome in Valhalla.
I was wondering about that, and I will fight you. So her sword is lying next to her, presumably.
Yeah, but you can see it's like just a few feet away. It looks like she dragged it in here behind her and continued crawling to get to the water, but she seems too weak to get up and actually pick it up herself.
Okay, so Svenja will get the sword and put it in her hand. And if she's not strong enough to hold it, she will stand her up on her feet, essentially holding her up and as if she's like a puppet, swing her sword, and then look at the rest of the party and say, "Someone fight her."
As you help her to her feet, you will see that she's like shaking, and it's like she looks like she might start to convulse, but she's just trembling. And as she stands to her feet, the wings are going to spread out, and you suddenly notice that they are much bigger than they first appeared. As she kind of stands to her feet and grips the sword, she gives you a nod and lifts it out of your hand, like she's using the last of her strength to actually raise this blade. As you see these wings cast an impressive form in front of the rest of you, she just she kind of gives a glance to all of you, trying to see if any of you are actually worthy of such a feat.
Well, in anticipation, I'll ready my halberd.
Yeoman, give me one religion check as she kind of looks at you and you see these burning eyes. Okay. And the low rolls tonight. Maybe I'm
That's
just used to
pretty
the high
good for
level
how
stuff,
I
but
was doing.
she will look at you and just shake her head as she says, "No, it cannot be them. Sister, it must be you. I cannot die by the hands of those who have not even seen true battle yet. But you will. And when the day comes, you must be ready to wield these blades just as we have always done." As she turns, addressing you again, Sven.
So she will drop his shield and sort of take her axe in two hands, strike then, and die bravely.
I am not fully dead yet. Ready yourself as well, and give us some space. I thank you, sister. And she like gives you a smile as she picks up the blade and she stands into a fighting position. Are you going to take us cool doing anything before you actually begin the battle?
Yeah, why not? Let's just go all in and cheesy stuff. Suddenly, radiant wings flare from Svenja's back as she lifts her axe and prepares to strike. She will, do we roll for initiative or she just strikes first?
Well, it's just going to be the two, so we can go back and forth. Yeah, you can. She is going to strike at the same time, so we actually will both roll one, but she is going to. Yeah. Okay. Her attack and yours. The first one is going to come.
Okay, I think the Mordian axe is incorrectly, but I will roll. I think it's adding too much modifiers. Yeah, that's a 9, so that's probably missing her.
Yeah. So let's see. She rolled a 10. So as you both run at each other, your blades clash as her sword blocks your axe, and there is this burst of radiant energy that comes off of both of you as your wings sort of flare up, and the water starts getting pushed back as you make this connection. Uh, she does have a multi attack, so she is going to go again before you get a chance as she swings this blade around. And she looks like she's fighting to kill.
That definitely hits.
Have you got a reaction?
Let me actually. That's a good point. Let me check what. Hang on a second.
You have that thing that rerolls.
Okay, yeah, so she is going to use Silvery Bobs, and that means she has to reroll.
Oh.
Where the hell is it?
Oh, for another 10 as, yeah, your silvery bubs just you dodge out of the way. And, yeah, taking us back to you. What are you going to...
So that advantage from that Silvery Bobs comes back to Svenja, so she's going to attack with the axe again. And this time it's 16 to hit.
That is not enough as she draws the sword back, blocks you again, but this time not quite as efficiently. You get closer.
What spells do I have that can make me hit harder?
Green flame.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you have advantage if? Oh, yeah, never mind.
So that means taking us back. The 13 on the first one, man, in my rolls. No. And then her second.
Okay, and the same thing.
Okay, another silvery bob.
Yeah, I'm sorry, this is terrible, but
No, this is
Wait.
Here's what you got.
and hopefully this time we roll fantastic.
Well, let me actually re-roll that one first, but
Oh shit! Yep, sorry, you do need to.
so it just keeps moving the chat every time. Okay, please stop. Please don't send anything in the chat right now.
Okay.
I'm just trying to click the attack button again. It keeps moving the whole chat. I think that's still a miss though. Yeah, that was turned it into a 12, so that is a miss, and your 21 is definitely going to hit. As yeah, roll your damage, because I think this might be how do you want to do this.
Yeah, because it was two-handed. She is doing. Fuck! What a shitty roll. Okay, 9 points of damage.
That is enough. How do you finish off this Valkyrie as you deflect her final blow and land your.
I think as she parries the blow of the longsword with her axe, she almost sort of smashes the handle of the axe into the Valkyrie's face, and as she reels back and opens up her throat, she brings the blade back and slashes across her throat, essentially decapitating her.
Yes, absolutely. As you do, as you decapitate her, there will be this explosion of radiant energy, and you will hear the cawing of ravens as there is just this cry that comes from, it seems like from within her, just like as you open up that final wound, her body will fall to the ground and just erupt into, like, it'll look like it is burning at first, but then it'll begin to erupt into blackened feathers that just flutter up into the air and across the water as they head towards a small opening in the ceiling. It seems like they are getting drawn out like the wind, and as her head would have clattered to the floor, you hear the helmet just clatter, and it is completely empty when it lands. You notice that her blade and her helmet have remained, but the rest all dissipate into those black feathers that fly off and become ravens somewhere.
Okay, so given the experience with the Draugr, she would almost in panic scream out, "Odin, Freya, tell me you got her. Show me, give me a sign." So she's not sure that the magic of the wounds have been overcome.
Okay, yeah, you can actually give me a religion check as you see this, and panic that she's just been dragged off to Helheim.
Roll nicely, roll nicely. There we go, 17.
Okay, yeah. So as you call out, you sort of grab her helmet just to to try and understand what has just happened, and you will feel this warmth wash over you as that glow, that power of the Valkyrie seems to shift from her, and you feel this surge of energy. But it is not just it's not just power that you feel, it is love. It's like it's like someone is putting their hand on your back and telling you it's going to be okay, as the water kind of ripples back to you, and you see again that golden ripple, and it seems like there is good in what you have just done. It is quite possible that she has gone to rejoin her fallen sisters, and that she has been accepted into Valhalla, as you were the one to send her there. And with this helm, you get the impression that somehow they are expecting you to kind of pick this up after her. But obviously, Odin has not really given you a fucking a job. Like you haven't had the chat, so you're not sure what is expected of you. But you feel this like warmth and responsibility that washes over you.
But she would turn around to everybody else and look at, did that just happen? What did that just happen? Did you see that? And I don't even know her name, so she's kind of almost in a sort of a shock state. So she's like, drops her axe and sits down on the ground and sort of just fingers the helmet and looks at it and looks at the sword and after a couple of let's say a minute or two of that, she will try on the helmet and sort of twirl the sword around experimentally and has a lot to think about.
The sword, we'll say, seems nicely made, but it doesn't seem all that I mean, it's a beautiful sword, but you don't feel a lot of the energy coming from that. It is more so from the helm, which is I mean, I'm sure you can picture the typical Valkyrie helm with the kind of winged,
Mhm.
can't remember what you call it, but when you put it on, you will feel that energy wash over you again, and the rest of you will see Svenja's eyes ignite just like the Valkyrie before had. As Svenja, everything around you becomes clear as day, and you have got at least a dark vision, like devil's sight, essentially, the same level you can see normally in magical darkness as well.
Wow. Okay, so
You have dark vision before.
yeah, except that she didn't know that other people could see in the. How do you know that you have dark vision if you're a child? I guess you pick
Fair
up at some point that other people fall over shit. It's like, hey, didn't you see that thing over there? That would be the only way that you work out that you can see dark and people.
Well, the thing is that with dark vision you still only see in black and white. Like it's still it's kind of like just actual human night vision, like when you haven't been exposed to artificial light. But now you notice that this cave is in full color. You can see that everything is, as I said, clear as if you were in daylight. So yeah, that is the immediate effect that you feel. But it may be more interesting as we are going to wrap the session up there, as you have killed a Valkyrie and it seems inherited some of her problems as well.
Completely unexpected. Thank you for jumping and springing that one on me.
And now cursed to live in eternal day.
Yeah, just take the helmet off.
Yeah, in the aftermath of all that, Yeoman just kind of puts his pipe at the bottom of his bag. Just make sure he doesn't reach for that soon.
She's also wondering if there was something to you last night. Maybe some of those mushrooms weren't quite as kosher, but
We just killed some woman. Could you imagine?
I mean, by Viking, by Norse rights, that was the kindest thing you could have done. And man, I can't believe it was so close. I will say, if she had hit you with that sword, it would have been bad. I know you've only got 18 hit points, and
yes.
she hits like a Valkyrie. So I'm amazed that the rolls went that way. Thank you very much for that.
Well, silvery barbs. That's why it's an overpowered spell. Twice.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like the flavor is the only thing we got to work on. We got to figure out what a silvery barb spell looks like, because I'm still a little bit
It affects causality. It is. I think it's basically a spell that affects causality.
But still, even so, what does it look like when you're casting it? There is an act to casting the spell, and I think you could flavor it in a million different ways. But I feel like the Valkyrie flavor here actually could work as quite a nice way of doing it. But so far, I've just been doing it like the luck shifts.
I mean, it is a verbal component only, and it says you magically distract. So could you say it's just like a really, really smaller version of power word stun? Something of the ilk.
There is the distract one, or whatever it's called, spell.
Yeah. Get that
Ah,
all done.
so how's this as a suggestion? Because I've been reading Terry Pratchett recently.
Miss
rereading
Lee,
it.
is that the what's called the Sound of Music guy?
Yes, soul music. You know, he wrote 60 or 70. So the soul, I think the Silvery Barbs is this: is as she speaks the magic words, you can see the tiny blue threads that connect the body and the soul to the web of fate. And what that does when you do the spell is it just readjusts the threads a little bit and moves the thread a little bit around from the person who's getting the disadvantage, the Valkyrie in this case, to the person who's getting it. So it's almost, you visually, there's like this tapestry almost hinted at, and the threads just twist over a little bit.
I feel like that is exactly what the spell implies that you are doing. I feel like
Yeah.
that's probably the inspiration, actually. Now that you've said that, it sounds like the best explanation for Silvery Barbs I've heard. But I think you could play it however you want. You know, you could make it silly that it's just you're literally going, "Hey, look over here," and it's making them. It's like they go, "What?" Just for a second. But that, I feel like for your character also, that like the web of fate and all of that, I love it. I think it just needs to have some explanation like we do for everything else. You know.
Yeah, like if it was a cheeky, jokey, gestury bard, it'd just be nope.
I mean, you can do both. It doesn't have to be the same thing every time. I feel like it can be such a funny spell to use as well. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't when it's against the big boss fight, and it means okay, it's the difference between getting squished and not. Then maybe yeah.
Yeah, thematically cutting words and all dissonant whispers and vicious mockery and all of these are all you know, A plus level or S level insulting. So you know, Silvery Barbs could just be that as well.
I mean, I think that is why it's on the bard spell list. It does fit in really easily with all that, but all of those things, you know, you can flavor them however